Woman's World is a showcase of exceptional women who are breaking the barriers to better their lives and better the lives of other women and girls. Women play multiple roles at any time. They can be mothers, students, doctors, decision makers, and more. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to another edition of the program. Don't go away. We'll be right back. You're welcome back to the program. On to today's edition of the program, we have women who have been breaking barriers to better their lives and better the lives of other women and girls. On my right is Dr. Belinda Babila, CEO of the Belinda Babila Foundation, and on my left is Reverend Mrs. Rilindis Ojong. You're both welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here today.
Okay. We are talking about women breaking barriers. When they talk about women breaking barriers, Dr. Belinda, what comes first in your mind?
Well, when we talk about women breaking barriers, we are talking about women who are not doing the ordinary things that every woman out there should be doing. We're talking about women ordinary women who are doing extraordinary things. That's a summary of women breaking barriers in a nutshell.
Yeah. What are some of the barriers that hinders the well-being of the woman?
Well, society has always coined or has always painted the woman as, the weaker vessel, has always painted the woman as, good for the kitchen, good to bear kids, good to clean, good to just every secondary position that there is. That's what has been attributed to the woman. But we all know that, from the Bible, which is which I call it the best motivational book on earth, God in there told all of us to go out and have dominion over the earth, over the fishes, over everything on the earth. So that's the principle that we are adhering to, is to see into it that women begin to operate within all the God-given powers that has been bestowed on them. There is so much powers that women carry, but because of fear, because of so many other limiting factors, women are not operating in their best functioning capacity. So breaking barriers came to be as an enlightenment, came to be as, we had some dynamic, wonderful speakers that spoke and brought back loads of life into the woman's life.
When we talk of breaking barriers, what are some of the unfriendly practices, some of the things that does not permit the woman to really express herself the way she is supposed to?
Well, granted, with the culture where we came from, I know we are in the 21st century and things have changed. The woman really did not have a say, and so they've been walking in fear for so many years, and they may all want to have they may all have visions, aspirations, hopes, but they being brought up in an environment of fear has limited the woman to where they don't function in the best capacities that they are or that they ought to operate. So breaking barriers came and gave them some tips, gave them some some guidelines, gave them some principles on how to get off their caged life, on how to get off fear, limitations, like procrastination. We spoke into their lives. We brought their spirits back up and gave them practical, everyday example on what to do to overcome limitations and to begin to function in the highest capacity that every woman should function in.
Okay, Reverend, what do you think about breaking? Do you think women are really breaking barriers?
To an extent, yes, but to another extent, we still have this cultural factor, or we still have politics, where it is believed that a woman is not supposed to occupy a particular position in the society, and we still also have social factor, where they look at the woman as a low-class woman, and the society tend to define the woman and to give her role. So, but based on what is happening, the awareness, some women are really making it to come out of it.
Okay. Talking about raising awareness, we still have so many young girls who are not educated. What do you think should be done to have girls to go to school, no matter the associations which have been put in place to promote girls' education? We still have so many young girls who are not going to school. What do you think is the problem?
This will start first with some cultures and some parents and mentality. You know, in some cultures, parents think that when you have a girl child, it means you have not given birth to a child. And some cultures believe that they had to only educate the male child. So to do that, they must start with their parents, educate the parents first, that a girl child or a boy child, they are all equal. And you can equally send your girl child to school the way you can send your boy child to school. So the first thing is to start to educate the parents first, and then go back to these young girls to make them to know that they can go to school as far as they can go.
Dr. Belinda.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Another factor is female genital mutilation,
Okay.
which remains, in some communities today, it is still practiced, no matter how associations, no matter how the media have the campaign on media on the ills of female genital mutilation. What do you think should be done for this to stop?
I think the only way it would stop is through sensitization. They'd have to keep talking about it. They cannot stop talking about it. They have to talk about it until it actually gets eradicated. Because the only way practices get to become realization is through talking. You don't stop talking about it. If it's a campaign that you don't want to see happening, campaigns have to be ran on genital mutilations over and over and over and over and over again until it stops. That's going to be my take on that.
You are a reverend and you're running a ministry. At first, it was a taboo seeing a woman being a reverend. For how long have you been running your ministry?
10 years.
10 years. And can you please tell us what motivated you?
Actually, we can't really say motivation is something that is a calling.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a motivation something, it's a calling. That most often, as a minister and a minister's wife, there is a tendency that people think that to be a minister is like you are taking the position of the man. Mm-hmm. And to be a minister's wife, it's like you're putting yourself in the box. So when I came back from school, after finishing my university, I never thought of being a minister. But when I gave my life to Christ and I received the call, to me it was like going to the Bible and asking God, now if you can call a man, can you call a woman? And if you can equip a man, can you equip a woman? And I got my answer from the book. And that was the factor that really pushed me into it, because I realized that being called as a minister is not that you are a man. And I went further to start studying other female ministers and see how they are doing it. So what I would say is it's not a motivational something, it's like a call from God.
So when you had this call, how did you feel?
The first thing is that when you have a call, especially ministerial calling, you'll be having that doubt, launching into a deep that you don't know, what you will face and what you will not face. But the first thing I did was to at least train myself. I went to Bible college, I did a certificate, I did a diploma, and I did a higher diploma. Mm-hmm. So that gave me the faith and the courage. But there are some obstacles, because there are some areas you enter as a woman to talk. They must tie your hair, no put on earring, no put on makeup. And that had caused some women to think that for you to be a minister, it means you will come out of the box and be like a village woman.
So for 10 years that you have been running your ministry, what are some of the challenges that you face as a woman?
My ministry is based in Nigeria.
Okay.
Which is a place that there you see a lot of female ministers, and they are really encouraging. We run a Bible school, a Bible training center where we train other pastors. But the truth of the matter is that we enter into a culture where they believe that a woman For a woman to stand and preach, you must tie your hair and not wear earring. Those are some of the challenges I had. But what I did was, as a minister, if you want your message to go through, you must, enter into the people and then get to be like them and then deliver your message. Now, when they receive your message, then you can come back and be yourself. So at times, if I go to a place to preach, I first of all ask the atmosphere. Do you put tie hair? You don't wear earring? You don't put lipstick? And I appear like that. Now, because the first thing is your face appearance is very important. So when you appear in their makeup, there is no earring, nothing, they'll receive your message. And now when they receive your message and they see you now with earring, it won't be a problem to them. So the first thing was dressing code.
Mm-hmm. So for 10 years, can you say you are satisfied with
Yes.
all what you've been doing?
Yes, very, very satisfying, very, very successful. We have trained a lot of pastors, a lot of leaders in Nigeria, and they're doing exploit.
Dr. Belinda, you are the CEO of the Babila Belinda Foundation. How did you get to creating this foundation? And what were your motivations behind?
Well, the BBF was officially launched in 2010. Were actually registered in the States in 2010, but it took me 7 years to actually get it started. It took me 7 years to actually go out and launch the first activities and go out to get, full accreditation and everything. And I think BBF just came from my life, from my story, from my challenges. After having been through a bad marriage and I fought through to raise my kids, I just decided, or I said to myself that once you've been through a challenge and you've turned that challenge into positive, and you need to use that to bless others, And I told myself that, especially with the kids, when I looked at my kids and I said, what if I wasn't around? It means my kids would almost become like orphans. So that's the reason why I have, the orphanage ministry is something which I have a heart for. I have a heart for the widows ministry, because having raised my kids practically with the help of God and myself, I consider, myself almost in that same light.
And what does it take to be a member of the Belinda Foundation?
Well, right now we accept volunteers. So because this is a charity, this is a non-profit charity. So we work by purely volunteerism basis. So everyone is called. We need talent, we need gifts, we need to be able to promote the work. We still need, as far as IT personnel, accounting personnel, we need field workers, we need administrative personnel. So it's always, people are welcome to join us as well if they're interested. Our office is going to be based in Bonaberry. Mm-hmm. So, and we will be having a lot of field activities every month as we get resource. Again, we're a 501c3 charity, so it means we do projects as funds come in. We don't sell. We have to look for ways to raise money to be able to sustain our different campaigns or our different projects that we have for the year.
What does it take to become a volunteer?
Well, to become a volunteer, all you have to do is just contact one of our national coordinators, and then you just actually you can go to our website. We have a volunteer form on our website. The website is www.healtheworldafrica, because that's the slogan we use, is Heal the World Africa. We're healing the world, but we're healing Africa's continent.
So why Heal the World Africa?
Heal the World Africa, again, because like I said, when God gives you a vision, He gives you a location. God gave us Africa. Africa was the location God gave us. So we're healing Africa. We're healing the world, but we're healing
Africa.
That's right.
Okay. What are you just mentioned some of the activities that you have been carrying on the field, amongst which is taking care of the widows, educating or empowering women. How do you choose the women, or how do you choose the areas or the people you are supposed to empower? How do you choose the widows?
Yes.
Is there any campaign? Do they register somewhere?
Okay, those are what the field, the local field coordinators do. We work with the locals. We have people on ground in the different communities, and they give us statistics of who is really a needy widow. So we don't just go around because the resources are limited. So we have to make sure that the resources really go impactfully to those that would really it will make a difference. So we have locals in the communities that we know would give us data or give us information on the widows that are really in bad conditions that will need our support. So we get those information from that, and then we put them all together, and then we organize the campaigns.
Okay, Reverend, how does the foundation operate in Nigeria?
Okay, in Nigeria, we have carried out some humanitarian activities like Lagos, Abuja, and Ogoja. For the Ogoja trip, I had to rally some people that need to go to Ogoja to volunteer the work. We need to get some people on ground in Ogoja.
Maybe is a refugee camp.
The refugee, okay, the
Cameroonian
refugee camp,
yes,
and the Adakom settlement in Ogoja, where the Cameroonian refugees are based. So while we're working on it, I had to get some people there, some refugees there, and they need to talk with them, they look for hotels, and then she came up. So we moved down to Ogoja. It was a serious, it was, how can I say, a serious outreach.
Okay.
So we spent about 4 or 5 days
yes,
in Ogoja. I brought some people from, because I'm based in Oyo, Akwa Ibom State. So I had to move some people down, plus my kids, because since they were on holidays, they were all part of the team. So we went down to Ogoja, looked for a hotel, and then started the program, going to the UN office, get a clearance to enter the refugee camp. So when she came with medicals and many other things that we had to give to the refugees, and it was a really great success in Ogoja.
So how do you people raise funds to sponsor your activities?
I'll answer that. Well, like for example, the medical outreach which we did, which we actually our charity gave the biggest medical outreach to the refugees in Nigeria. For that particular donation, I had some team of medical doctors in America that we contacted, and they had medical supplies. So what we did is we just paid them some logistic money, and then they give you the items, but you pay for your shipping, you pay for clearance in Nigeria, and then you pay to get the things to the refugee camp. So that's really, so at least as far as having the items is not that expensive. The expenses go as far as shipping the items, as far as clearing the items. But again, we actually still use another NGO partnership in Nigeria. God has just been with us, really. That's what I'll tell you. When God gives you a vision, He gives provision for the vision. So we would get pay them a logistic fee, like for this case in point, this last container that I did, it was a 40-foot container of medical supplies. So we had the container donated to us, but we had to pay them $2,000, paid that, and then get the container shipped from Maryland or Virginia, and then shipped it across to Nigeria. But again, we used the partner NGO that I had to use her exoneration. Exoneration means when goods get to Nigeria, we don't get charged as commercial because we're a non-profit charity. So I use her exoneration, and we're only supposed to pay taxes. So which all in all, for the container to say get to Nigeria, it cost us about 6 million CFA. But the worth of the goods that were given to them was worth $100,000, worth about 50 million CFA. So again, you look at it as, we still always get those kind of subsidies where we are looking for resources of those who are giving out, and maybe we can pay some, pay a little fee, collect items, and then ship out, or we do fundraisers through, I use social media, I use people that I know, I encourage others to talk about the campaign as well. So it's just word of mouth, and then I think when people see your activities and begin to see all what you're doing, they begin to they begin to become interested, and then they begin to partner into the cause. So this year, we're looking forward because, to get an international grant or partnership, they need to see your activities, and they need to see that, and some of them have some qualification that, they want to see you guys operating for 2 years with reports, with everything. I mean, it's a full-fledged, The white man wouldn't give you his money just because you're doing stuff. No, they need a thorough report. You need to grant them a thorough project. So we're working on that this year, and we're trusting God.
And who are your sponsors?
That's what I'm saying right now. My sponsors are just people that I get, my personal friends, family members, and also just social media. I use a lot of social media for right now. And this year we're getting into where we're going to target companies. That's why we're opening the branch in Cameroon, where we're hiring people, or we're going to have volunteers who will go around to raise funds in Cameroon, because every nation will try to raise funds for their charity projects, because that's how it's going to be. And then we would support. America is the headquarters, but the local houses need to try and raise funds to the local agents or the local offices in the African nations. We'll come up with a fundraising strategy for them to try and raise their own funds, and then we add to it.
Okay. Next on the program is the opinion of men on what they think women taking upon male jobs. We'll be right back.
Je vous ai fait venir parce que votre dossier a été retenu. Le poste, en quelque sorte, n'est pas un travail comme tous les autres. Ça concerne des opérations. Il a l'air simple, mais il n'est pas aussi simple que ça. Il demande beaucoup d'attention, beaucoup de responsabilités et beaucoup de prérequis. Pour un premier prérequis, vous êtes amené à être tout le temps debout. Vous vous pencherez de temps en temps, bien évidemment. Tout au long de la journée, vous devez être endurante. 24 heures sur 24, 7 jours sur 7.
Ah bon?
On a quand même le droit d'avoir une pause pour manger ou pas?
Il n'y a pas de pause.
Pas de pause. Est-ce qu'on pourrait avoir au moins
Un petit déjeuner,
petit déjeuner? Oui, déjeuner comme ça.
Vous avez le droit à votre déjeuner. Si et seulement si votre associé a fini le sien.
Ça devient compliqué.
Il est question de savoir comment négocier et avoir les compétences interprofessionnelles. Dans ce poste, nous avons besoin de personnes ayant des diplômes en médecine, en finance, en art culinaire. Ça m'amène à vous prévenir que vous êtes amené à avoir beaucoup de casquettes, puisque votre associé demande une attention particulière et constante. Vous devez parfois rester avec votre associé tout au long de la nuit. Cela m'amène à vous dire que, dès à présent, vous n'avez plus de vie. Si vous avez une vie, oubliez-la. Vous n'avez pas de vacances, vous n'avez pas de fête de fin d'année, même votre anniversaire, oubliez.
C'est légal?
Bien sûr que c'est légal, mais j'ai d'autres précisions. Vous n'avez même pas le temps de dormir. Et c'est ainsi tout au long de l'année. Parlant de salaire, le poste ne rapporte rien.
Pardon?
Oui.
Aucun salaire?
Si je vous disais que quelqu'un d'autre a déjà fait ce travail, il y a des milliards de gens qui le font.
Qui ça peut être?
Mais non, maman. Ah ouais? Elles le font si bien et sans prérequis. Alors,
Je sais pas comment lui dire merci pour tout ce qu'elle a pu faire pour moi, mes frères, pour tout cet amour incommensurable. Waouh! Je commence à comprendre que c'est dur d'être maman et que vraiment c'est la meilleure chose que tout être puisse avoir.
J'en ai plusieurs. Elles sont les meilleures au monde.
Ma maman, moi, elle a fait de moi ce que je suis aujourd'hui. Elle a beaucoup participé à mon éducation.
Merci d'avoir fait de moi ce que je suis aujourd'hui.
Je pense que là, c'est mon meilleur cadeau, de pouvoir dire merci. Merci infiniment à ma maman, à celle qui m'a donné la vie, à celle qui a toujours pris soin de moi, sans compter les heures, sans compter le temps, sans compter l'épuisement et surtout sans salaire. Les mamans sont les meilleures.
Moi, à mon avis, je pense qu'il n'y a aucun mal à ce qu'une femme fasse un métier considéré comme les métiers d'hommes. Comme les métiers d'hommes. Il n'y a pas de souci à cela. Et d'autant plus si elle exerce avec zèle, avec brio, autant que les hommes le fassent, je ne trouve pas de problème à cela. Mais le seul problème que je peux trouver, c'est au niveau du fait que les femmes pensent qu'il puisse avoir une certaine égalité dans les sexes, que je peux même considérer pour uniformité. Certaines pensent qu'il peut y avoir une certaine uniformité entre les genres. Je préfère encore qu'on parle d'égalité de genre et non d'égalité de sexe. Dans l'égalité de genre, c'est dans la pensée, dans la façon, dans l'exercice d'un certain nombre de tâches et tout ce qui fait avec.
Donc notre pays a atteint des progrès inattendus en matière de promotion de l'activité des femmes.
Je crois qu'elle se distingue singulièrement. Hein. Ça, c'est peut-être très subjectif, mais il est une chose qui soit certaine, c'est que ces femmes qui font les métiers des hommes sortent un peu de l'ordinaire, parce que les autres femmes les voient avec un autre regard. Tout à fait, pour moi, c'est très bien.
You're welcome back. From what we just saw there are some men who are favorable on the fact that women can do what men can do, and there are others who think that what a man can do, a woman cannot do. So it varies what they think. What do you think what a man can do, a woman can do better?
Absolutely, absolutely. And a woman can even do it better. I mean, gone are those days where those limitations were put. Those are things that just were put into our minds. And I just believe that once the mind of a woman is renewed, then you begin to understand that that God has bestowed the same power that He bestowed on the man. He bestowed on you, and you are divinely empowered to go out and do exploits. The thing is that the mind has been limited to the fact that, and the way the brain functions by whatever is been dumped in it. So if it's been dumped in the brain that the woman is limited or can do, that's all the brain understands. So for years and years, and that's all the brain processes back to the woman. Oh, you can do this, you're limited. So but then, once the mind gets renewed, and that's what we did at the Breaking Barriers. We renewed minds. We let the women know that, there's absolutely no limitations as to what you can become, as to what you can do, as to what you can achieve in life. Because at the end of the day, the man is not just doing whatever he's doing per his own know-how. He goes through a process, he learns, and he becomes an expert at whatever he's doing. So a woman can go through that same process, learn whatever needs to be learned, and becomes an expert in it.
Reverend, do you buy the same opinion?
Yes. Let me take it back to the Bible. Looking at Genesis, the Bible says that, and God created the male and female, and God blessed them. It didn't say God blessed the man. He said God blessed him. And the same blessing that God pronounced on the female, it is the same blessing God pronounced on the male. He said, and God blessed him. And God said, have dominion. When we begin to look at the word dominion, it means what? Have control. Mm-hmm. Have control, manage. And then he said, God said, be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, and have dominion. He said that to the male and the female. And the Bible says that one will chase 1,000. And two, which is 10,000. Now, when we try to look at these two words, one is a man when he's alone. And when he's alone, his capacity is 1,000. And that's some of the things that men don't want to hear. When he's alone, his capacity is 1,000. But when the woman comes in, she's bringing in a capacity of 9,000. Now, we need to know that a woman is multitasking. The thing is that we have been brainwashed by our culture that, we don't have what it takes, but we have everything. You see a young girl growing, very soon she starts having breasts. When she is pregnant, her tummy will be growing, she can expand, and then she can come back. It shows the capacity of a woman. It shows you what is inside a woman. A woman can be cooking, calling, observing a child at the same time. A woman will use her two brains to work, while a man will use only her one brain. And the thing is that it is the culture that is trying to put us in a box. But we have come to make the woman to know that what a man can do, dominion means take dominion and in charge of all what I have created. Now, if God has created the airspace and created everything in the airspace, and a man can be a pilot, a woman can be a pilot.
Absolutely.
If he said take dominion over the minerals in beyond the sea, he said the woman too can do it. She can become a marine engineer. She can become, a sailor. So for me, I believe that, you know where this problem is coming from?
No.
This problem is coming when the fall came. It's coming from the fall. But they need to understand that that they accuse us that we brought humanity to where we are. When God came to the scene, God was still searching for a woman for the solution. He said, the seed of the woman shall bruise the head of the serpent. It is the seed of the man. And when we look at history in Bible terms, you see that whenever God wants to have a breakthrough in the world, he's searching for a woman.
Can we, in a nutshell, say a woman can have it all, career and family life?
Absolutely.
Very balanced.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. We have what we call in our Bible school, the family, minister, the family, and his job, the equilibrium. Because, as a minister, you can be a civil servant and you are a wife, but there's an equilibrium. You know how to manage your time. You know how to balance it. There is a time for work and there's a time for family. Are you getting me? There's what we call you dedicate. You can dedicate. You can create time. We work overtime. She doesn't sleep. So you can say, I work in the night in my family, put everything in place. In the day, I'm out for my work.
But there are some professions which, or there are some careers which will not permit a woman to be at home, and at the same time that you spend more of your time at work than in the house with family. How should women manage this?
No, can you say it again?
What kind of profession?
Like
When I say there are professions that will not enable the woman to spend more time with family, but will spend more time at her job side.
Okay.
Maybe if you are a medical doctor, you have to stay at night.
Yes, yeah. Well, can I answer that?
Yes.
Well, I think whatever it is that you have to manage your time appropriately. I mean, there's time for work and there's time for family. There's no job that would take you away from your family entirely. And again, it's a job. So it's a job, it's not forced on you. So you begin to set your priorities. I think it's about setting priorities in life. And there's no insensible job that would want you just to work without the well-being of your family. So again, as a woman, you have to set priorities and you have to have super good time management skills, because you cannot waste time on things that are not adding value to either your life, to either your profession, to either things that are not taking you to where you want to go to in life. You can waste time on it. And talking about jobs that would take you away from your family, I think before they hire you at any work or at any job, at the conference we had a lawyer that came to speak on human rights. We as women have rights of equal and fair treatment at the workplace, in the houses, and in the community as a whole. So there is no employer that would employ you and give you a job that takes you entirely away from your family, unless that's what you signed up for. Maybe you don't have a family and that's just what you want to do, then that's personal. But say per the law of, which I think it goes across, but not even only Cameroon. There's set hours, something by the labor law. There's set hours that you can work in a day in the States. The maximum you can work in a day is 16 hours. I'm not sure what the law of Cameroon says, but I'm talking per where I live and where I've lived for a while. You cannot work over 16 hours. Above 16 hours, that's an abuse, and the employee can sue you. And you would have to pay a fine for that. So again, there are standards already in there are laws by the labor law that protects you as a woman.
Many people say the decline of morals of children nowadays is due to the fact that mothers spend more time at work than in the house, and they allow nannies to take care of their kids, of which the house help or the nannies too are children who are supposed to be taken care of.
I think as a mother, your house help can put values on your children. As a mother, it is your role, it is your responsibility, it is biblical. The Bible commands you to take care of your child till they turn the age where they can take care of themselves. And the Bible commands us to raise our kids in the fear of the Lord. So when they grow up, they will not depart from it. So work or no work, I have the most busy schedule ever. Sometimes I take my kids with me on my shows. I take my kids with me on my campaigns. I take my kids with me so they can be part of what I'm doing. And that is my own way of inputting value in them. That way tomorrow, even if I'm not around, they're learning something firsthand. I make sure that they watch all my videos. I send it to them so they can, that I am indirectly telling them this is what life should be. So no matter how busy you are as a mother, you must create time to train your children, because otherwise you are setting them up for failure. And those are your fruits. And the Bible says from your fruits, we would know them. As a mother, it's every woman's pride. After having gone through 9 months of pregnancy, gone through labor and give birth to your child, it is a woman's pride and joy to see into it that the kids grow up and they grow up successful.
Let me add something there.
Sure.
Well, normally, you know that from 0 to 5 years, you form habits in a child. From 0 to 5 years. And for me, what I would advise a woman, we're talking about equilibrium.
Yeah.
In a space where your home is not, affected, and then your job. Now, as a woman, my advice can be, if you're just giving birth to your children, you don't go for a job that will take you out of them at that early age, because at that 0 to 5 years, it is very dangerous for a child. All the habits they will put in a child at that time will determine the child in the future. Now, when I went into ministry, let me talk for my case, I didn't pick up ministerial activities when my children were small. Like me coming out here, it would have been impossible, leaving Nigeria to travel. So at that time, I limit my activities and my ministerial work closer to where my kids were. So I raised them up at that age. So as a lady or as a wife, what you do is, at that early age, pick a job. Or even if you're a medical doctor, you can talk to your boss that you will just be morning sessions or afternoon sessions, not night sessions. It's how you arrange it so that you have that time. Now, when your kids are grown up, then now she's here because her kids are grown up. But when the kids were still small, she was not traveling that way. Are you understanding me? So that early age of a child, as a mother, because that is also your own responsibility to raise them up. Because when the child is bad, they'll say the mother was not there. So you have to, I think some women at times, even if you're a banker, some women will resign their job for that time just to invest into their children. And then when their kids are grown up, they go back to their job. It's all how you arrange it.
Miss Dr. Belinda is also a fashion designer.
Yes. Been my passion. No, sorry. Go ahead.
Why doing designing? Is it a passion?
Yes, it is. It is a passion. It is a passion. It's always been a passion. I've always loved. Growing up since the age of 10 years, I always pick the materials and design my clothes that I wanted to wear. So, and I got to a point where I told myself, I need to monetize my passion. I need to, and I need to, it's another way of empowering others that you can be in the profession. I am in the medical profession, granted, but the fashion industry is my passion. And being in the medical doesn't limit me from doing what I love, because I don't look at it like I'm working, because it's fun, and I'm like, oh wow, you can turn this fun into money, so, and you can still look nice out of it. So things like that, that's how Designs by Belinda got birth. And I got tired of wearing other people's clothes. I told myself, why not wear Designs by Belinda? And that's what I'm wearing one of them right now.
Wow.
Yep. So, and again, it's another way to empower women, to let them know that we are not limited. Nothing limits us. Once that gift is in you, go out, develop the gift, work on it, and the sky's gonna be your limit.
And for how long have you been doing this?
The Design by Belinda, it's almost a year now. Yes, it's almost a year that. But I actually started doing this back in 2000. I had a store in Buea. I've always been in the fashion world. 1990, no, 2000. No, was it 2000 in Buea? I opened a store in Buea back in the days when Chinese folks had no business in Cameroon. Where, I mean, I would ship things from Cameroon from the States, and I was so thrilled because when I came back home and I go to like a bachelor's eve party and I'll see almost every girl in there wearing my clothes. So, you know, and then I wasn't designing the clothes, I was just reselling because I had a store, you know, but I always made my African clothes, I always made even normal clothes, but I had people make them for me. So I just decided to brand it now and turn it into a company and take it to another level. So that's what we're doing at Design by Belinda right now. Is just taking it to the next level and monetizing it.
After the conference, women empowerment and success conference, what next?
What next? As far as women, we would tackle June 3rd. I believe June 3rd is the International Day of the Widows. So that day we'll have an activity to commemorate that. So we try to, on every key days that, you know, concerns the woman, we try to make sure that we, you know, we empower, because see, at BBF we're investing our strength to see that women become less out of the box and begin to function in the ways, you know, with in the different many capacities that God has bestowed them with. So we have Mother's Day that's coming up. Mother's Day that's an American holiday, which I'll do something over there in the States, and the Widow's Day is an international day, which I'll do something in Cameroon for that. So we'll balance it that way. So we'll have something in Nigeria done, we'll have something in Cameroon done for the International Day of the Widows.
Okay. Few days from now, we'll be celebrating the International Day of the Women in Cameroon and worldwide. Do you think the way it is celebrated in Cameroon is proper?
Well, I think so far it's my actual first Women's Day celebration in Cameroon. I'm witnessing it for the first. I've been gone for a while. I've been gone out of the country since I was 20 years old. I've stayed out of Cameroon for a while, but I do come back and go, but I've never attended. I've never been around in the month of March. So I was excited because yesterday we had the sports walk with the regional delegate of women empowerment, Mrs. Makota. And it was a really fun activity. It was a fun experience. Women came out in their numbers. We were over 1,000 of us walked from Bunasama and ended up in Bunanjo. And then after that we had some workout sessions, and then they had female cyclists go out and cycle. And you know, to me, that picture just painted the fact that if women really decide to stop slandering themselves, stop hating themselves, stop battering themselves or stabbing themselves, and begin to flip it around and see how they can come together, I'm sure we're gonna build rockets to the sky. I mean, we're gonna go to Mars and back. That's my take on it. If we can use this energy that we use, let's shift from this negative energy and transcend into a positive energy, and begin to use that. And I can guarantee you that Cameroonian ladies will become the most powerful women that earth has ever birthed. But it would never happen if mindsets don't change. It would never happen if positivity isn't the key.
Reverend, do you have a word to add?
Yeah, I want to go back to your question on how they celebrate
Women's Day in Cameroon.
You know, the whole thing and the whole concept has been a turnaround. I have looked at, before moving to Nigeria, at least this is my country, I have seen the way women have turned the 8th March as if it's a day of freedom.
It's a day where the man is supposed to
be at home,
and the woman goes out, comes back the next
drunk,
day.
Fighting.
Or they dance in bars
they empty they just naked their body. But that's not the focus of Women's Day. You know, we women, we need to come out from our mindset. We need to know that that day is a day that, you know, It's just like you being a woman and think of positivity, a positive way of doing something. It's as if you have not been drinking beer before. It's that day you will drink beer. It's that day your husband will cook. Are you getting me? So we have turned the whole thing to be like a day that we are fighting for rappers.
And a day that you are supposed to put on a fabric.
A fabric.
If your husband does not offer, it's a problem.
And that's the reason why this year at BBF Foundation, we decided that it's not about the bars. It's not about, yes, it's good to celebrate, but what are you celebrating? What have you achieved? I mean, what have you achieved? Look at, just ask, because to me, I celebrate whenever I've finished achieving a project. And I feel fulfilled that it's worth my celebration. So to me, I believe that on that March 8th, lots of empowerment needs to have been done, lots of conferences need to happen so that women feel full.
That's it.
They feel fireized. And then on the 8th, you feel it's worth it to celebrate that particular day. Because during the course of the week, you've had conferences, you've been revived, you've been revitalized, and now you're ready now to take all the learnings that you've had, and now you're ready now to it's like turning a new page in your life. So you use that March 8th day as a day of joy, as a day of like, oh wow, as a day of celebrating your recent accomplishment for the week.
Can you share with us how it is being celebrated in the US?
Well, in the US, that's a Western world, and there starts obvious loads of activities, a lot more. I mean, they have sports world, they have kids, like the women have the kids get involved, but it's mostly conferences. They have cocktails, they have awards, ceremony of awards, giving, recognizing women who are doing great things in the communities. But it's mostly a week of intense education. Intense, and that's the same concept I brought back home. My, our vision is next year we'll do a lot more different activities, workshops. We'll have vocational training exhibitions, just different activities where at the end of that week, you come out there with something tangible that you can run with and add value to your life.
Yeah.
Okay. We are almost running out of time, and we do not, we still have much to say, but time is against us. So what can you guys tell all the women watching us right now?
Well, my message to all women who are watching us right now is, first, as a woman, I would advise every woman first and foremost to be prayerful, or if you've not given your life to Christ, or if you've not made God, or if you don't have a personal relationship with God, as a mother, it's almost a priority because you draw a lot of strength. There are benefits that come from those who have a closer relationship with God. He will begin to equip you to be able to do all that which you are destined to do. And to be honest, some benefits don't come to you if you don't have a personal relationship with the Lord and Savior. So my rule number one is get closer to God, get a personal relationship with God, because from there you will draw a lot of insights that will guide you not only in your personal life, not only in your financial life, not only in your spiritual life, not only in your social life, but you draw a lot of insight that will make you have a very holistic, balanced life where you'll be able to achieve all that which you are set to achieve. And also, I would like my next advice to women especially is for women to invest in themselves. It is really, really, really primordial that a woman invest in herself. When I mean invest in herself, I mean in her personal development. You have to, set time to become a better person every day. Because that is the only way you'll get to where you're supposed to get to in life. You have to read books. There is no way, absolutely no way you'll be able to know how to do things any better if you don't read or if you don't listen to, valuable information. I will tell you, for one, I don't watch TV. I watch exclusively the news. I'm just sorry, but I don't
You don't watch movies?
I don't watch movies because I don't have time right now to watch movies. Movies to me is luxury. Yes. So rule number 2 is to work on your personal development. It's very, very important. Okay. Wherever you're trying to get to in life, you will only get through when you've developed yourself, from where you are to where you want to go to. And also,
Reverend, maybe last word from you.
All what I would just say is that a woman should look inward and discover the giftings that God has put in her. Because I believe that we all have giftings. And when you look inside, you know your giftings, and then you'll be able to rise up to fulfill your purpose.
That's right, absolutely.
Because if not, you'll be doing something else that is not like relating to what God created you to be. So a woman should be, always look and ask yourself, why am I on this earth?
That's right.
What do I have as divine abilities? What do I have as strength to be able to do it? So when you discover your purpose, then you will fulfill your purpose.
Okay. Women, work on your personal development. It's only by working on your personal development that you can get to another level. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it for today's edition of the program. Do join us again next Saturday.